We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in Jump for Joy Studios, John.
Yeah.
It is season 5, episode 9. Last week was Kentucky. This coming week, as we air now, is badminton.
Yep.
We have a great show to go with. We have Lucinda Green, who's going to go through the badminton recap for us.
Well, it's not a recap, it's more of a preview.
It's a preview.
Yes.
The way that she
Next
does
time we'll be doing a recap.
I'm sorry.
That's You're doing great.
I'm soaking off your tiredness. But she gives it in her own Lucinda way, which is great to listen to.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have this pony boy guy on here. It's going to be fun to have him with Corture, Hottie, and Briggs Surratt.
Yeah, and so I probably don't need to say this, but I feel I need to say this so that everybody knows. I watched Briggs and Hottie go around, and the first thing I said to you after the round was, we have to have Briggs on the show.
You did.
I said, that is so cool. They looked so amazing out there. I watched them through the back loop and through the sunken road.
Right.
And I mean, it just was awesome to watch. There was so much good riding there, but like, that's just such a fun story.
And feeling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were a lot nervous. We can talk about it when we get him in with us, but I mean, there was a lot riding on that round.
Totally.
Right, and so, we can get into that. Also, there were some good results at Kentucky.
Yep. Yeah,
And what a fun 5-star to watch, and 4-star. What did we have
Where do you want to start?
I think the exciting part was the shuffle in the 5-star.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
So obviously, I don't think I know I didn't make a pick because I said I'm not making a pick until after. So my pick was Ollie on Cooley Rosalind. That's what I said. We'll edit that in later, Joel.
You got to pop that message
pop that in.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, that's such a beautiful mare, and honestly, I
it's pretty
thought
cool.
it was going to win at Maryland, right? And didn't quite get it done.
Right.
But such a beautiful mare, and obviously Ollie knows how to compete, and is going for the Triple Crown now at Badminton this week.
Right, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, so good for him. And then we got Tom McEwen right there, and then I got a text from Jen in the middle of cross country day, and it said, if you love me, you will buy me Yasmin's horse. I want Bonsai. And I said, go ahead. Just tell her you want the horse. Write the check.
And just bring it home.
Yeah, you can have it for however long it takes for her to realize the check is not going to go. But you've had it. Right, you can hand the horse back.
Right.
And then we had, which was really fun for us, we had, from Germany, we had Malene. Mm-hmm. What is it, Hotop Hansen, right? Yep. Hansen Hotop, I always say it backwards. Sorry, Malene. And I wanted to run into her there, but we were also busy running around, and because they quarantine.
You were busy. Let's just say that you did a great job commentating. That's not an easy job. I don't think they realize there's a lot of pressure when you're going in, but once you get your groove like you did, it's great because it all comes natural, right? And Sinead's amazing as well.
Well, so yeah, we'll just say this. They asked me Thursday if I would do it, and I was like, okay. And they told me the segment of horses I was going to have to do, so I was like, maybe they asked me actually Wednesday, but I was panicked trying to
Sinead told me.
Learn about the horses because you want to sound like you want to look like you're not an idiot. And Sinead's she does an awesome job, so I'm just like...
And so does Frankie.
Yes, but I'm not filling in for Frankie.
Right.
I'm filling in for Sinead. Frankie is there. She's the one kind of keeping me on track, so I wasn't worried about trying to be Frankie. I was worried about trying to be Sinead.
Which nobody can be.
No. So it was...
You did good.
It was an honor to get to do it. It was really fun, and I don't think I said anything too offensive or stupid.
No, I thought you were very good. The only thing I said to you, I don't know if I texted you, stop using your bedroom voice in the
Yes, well, I get that. Yes.
You do it in some of the commercials.
Yeah, I know, because I usually, when I'm recording those, it's early in the morning. I haven't had enough coffee yet. I need to do my exercises. Me.
I told Sinead, and Sinead started laughing. She goes, I'll make sure I tell him.
Yeah, okay.
But good job. Y'all did a good job.
Thank you.
It's fun to do. I like doing it.
It is
so
fun.
It's very much fun.
It is fun.
But in the 5-star, it was kind of I don't know if it's exciting. I wanted Tom to win. I really did.
Yeah, and he had the pole down.
And he had the rail down, and it moved Ollie into first. But it is what it is. That's our sport.
Yep.
So then the 4-star.
Okay, then the 4-star. There was a lot of action in the 4-star.
Can we go back real quick to the 5-star? Lauren Nicholson and Vermiculus won the national championship for the highest placed U.S. rider.
Yes, thank you. Sorry about that, Lauren. Yeah, I mean, and how cool that little horse is still just smoking around.
Fantastic. I saw him. He's little. Talk about little, but he's 15.3.
Right.
He looks more small than that.
Right. Yeah. He looks like the other pony.
Yeah.
There's two ponies.
Two ponies going.
And so it was an interesting year, right? Because you had the 5-star going on, which was like obviously the featured class, but you also had this 4 short, which really, for the Americans, was kind of the stronger Olympic field, which we've talked about.
It was, yep.
So it was interesting because this was the only thing, like, remember we were talking about and kind of debating the 2 divisions and blah, blah. I went on Facebook or Instagram or something and I saw a comment that said, oh, the Americans need to step it up. I can't believe that we don't have anybody, even challenging for the top placing in the 5-star. And I took everything in me not to be like, you were a bunch of morons. How do you not know that like the top 10 U.S. horses are in the 4 short right now? Like, I think you have to be a little bit fair to...
I know. It gets a little bit, I mean, a lot of people...
Sorry, you guys aren't actually morons, but you know what I mean.
It's just when it's out there and there's conclusions drawn. It happens on social media all the time. Poor Elisa and her horse, it was an unfortunate run, but we decided based on the run that it was time to try something different. But then you get comments of, oh, because he stopped 2 times on cross country, why are they selling him? It's like, there's a whole story behind when it comes up to it.
But, so to that point, we had Diabolo finishing on a score of 29.9. Diabolo. We had Commando.
Which is Will Coleman.
Which is Will Coleman, yes. I apologize. I'm doing it. You know what? I'm tired. We had Boyd Martin finishing second, and that horse, Commando, is so cool.
Commando 3.
Yes. It's like...
It always reminds me that...
sequel to the sequel.
That some of these guys ride Commando, which is crazy.
Yes. And then it was kind of cool because it was like the Will Boyd show.
Yeah. And then it went back to Will.
Yeah, it was Will Boyd, Caroline, Liz, and Liz. Mm-hmm. So you had Boyd on Fetterman B, which that one, honestly, I think of all those horses, that's probably the one I would say
it's my favorite.
Is going to go to Paris, you would think. Like, it just looked amazing.
It's well-rounded. It's good. It's ready.
Yeah.
And it's a great testament to Boyd and to the Goodman family keeping that horse going after Annie's death.
Yep. And then the other one, obviously, you had Caroline there with Blake and Liz.
Which was astounding. That's a 9-year-old.
I know. Pretty cool. And then you had Liz on the Quicksilver horse. And then Mixmaster C. Okay. I thought she did an awesome job keeping a lid on that around cross country, but that's still, I think, going to be a really hard horse to go fast on a twisty course, isn't it?
It is, and I think there was some disappointment in that she rode one of the, and I'm not calling anybody out, by the way.
Right.
Just one of the lines that was supposed to do the 8, I think it's to the in and out, and she had that rail going in.
Yep.
I think the plan was to do the 8, and she did the 7. Look, mistakes happen.
Sure.
And yes, I agree with you. It's a tough horse.
Yeah, it's a lot of horse.
And it's a lot of horse. It's a lot of, it's a lot of ride. And she does have a lot of horses that are like that.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is you want one that's going to go cross country. You look at all of her horses, and that one you'd be like, okay, that one should go to Burley. Like it's
a Burley horse.
That's that sort of horse.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's my opinion. What do I know?
Well,
but I have a podcast, so I can say it.
You can say it. Yeah, I mean it's tough, right? It's tough to know what's now a national or an Olympic or a championship horse and what's a 5-star horse. But
and isn't it great that she's got horses to choose from?
She's
U.S. has horses to choose
Robin
from.
Cristosino, and other owners, supply her with that. I just want to give a call out to Maya Black, however, that started Mixmaster C.
Yep.
Got him all the way up to the 4-star level, was doing great things with it, and it's unfortunate things happens with owners. And so good job, Maya, because the horses is amazing. So.
Yeah, and Liz does an awesome job with all of them, so
definitely.
Well done to Liz and the whole crew. So we get Briggs next?
Yeah, let's get Briggs.
All right, so we need to make sure that we say thank you to Horse Trailer Pros.
Yep.
Presenting sponsor here on the show. We love having them and Matt and his team.
Definitely, Matt, Jump for Joy.
And we are at the Jump for Joy studio.
Right here.
Boom, so we're going to be right back at the Jump for Joy studio with Briggs Surratt.
Want to advertise on The John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
All right.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show.
We fucked it all up.
You were supposed to bring us in.
I was waiting for my countdown.
That was the countdown.
This is, you know what?
I think
you can't be a guest. This is a disaster.
No, you go. Let's start. Let's go.
Okay.
It's all on here.
All
Let's go. Get going.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in the Jump for Joy studio, and we have Briggs Surratt. And we are in the Equibrew segment, Briggs. So
nice.
Equibrew is a great live probiotic. I don't know that you know a whole lot about it, so we're going to ask Rick to explain it to us.
I think he does know a lot about it. It's a great live probiotic. It's great for gut health. Gets the microbes in there. His pony Couture is the Equibrew poster child.
Yes.
So she's on it, been on it for years, and here we are going to talk with Briggs Surratt about his pony.
Okay, so Briggs, you go to Kentucky, and everybody, I mean, most people that are in the sport know of this pony and know of sort of watching her come up the levels. But you go there, and like basically that's your introduction of Hottie to the world, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, sort of starting at the end, what was going through your mind when you're sitting out there in the start box getting ready to go cross country at Kentucky for the first time, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, were you like, because you kind of have this cool look about you all the time, like, yeah, I mean, I'm 85, so it's fine. But that's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah. It was, here we go.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
You've got to go into a little bit more detail. We're going to pull it out of him.
I mean, that was the last thing that went through my mind before I left the box. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. And then, boom.
And so you were feeling, I mean, I'm assuming you were feeling pretty confident?
Feeling confident, but of course you got the butterflies rolling, but I like that. I want the nerves, but that gets my adrenaline going, gets my fast reactions.
Right. Right. And so I watched you through the first water, jumped the corner, and then you galloped on down and you went to the coffin. And I wasn't sure what she was going to do there because you had the rail, one stride to the ditch, and then was it 2 to the first brush and then 1 between the two skinnies?
Yeah, correct.
And you went 2.
2.
You went 2 and 2, right?
No,
2 and 3, then 2.
And 2.
2, 3, 2. And was that the plan, or were you just letting her work it out?
I just let her work it out. That was my plan from the get-go. Just to let her do her thing and just
Right.
make sure my leg's on her and keep the hind end, have enough power.
Was that because Lucinda told you not to count strides?
I don't count strides. The farther up the levels I got, the less strides I started counting.
Yeah, you
because
have to.
She does her thing, and sometimes she does the horse strides, sometimes she doesn't, sometimes she leaves out a stride.
Right.
What she did at Maryland. I don't know if you've seen the video.
I don't know.
I've
seen her leave out
It was
strides.
the offset houses in Maryland.
The down bank to the offset houses. She went down there, and then she's like, "I'll just leave." Before I left the RV, Lucinda was still in her bunk. She says, "Don't be shocked if she puts an extra one in." I was like, "Got it."
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Fair enough. But I mean, just rode nice deep to the vertical, and then she always likes to pad into the ditch, and it was like, oh, there's an extra stride, and got to the brush, and I was like, well, she sees it, so
Right.
off we go, and in the air, the crowd just went nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. Obviously, Elisa's been around some of the biggest 5-stars in the world.
Yeah.
I was not doing real well.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I watched him on the screen through the coffin, and I was in the back field. And the first time I saw you like live, I'm like, Jen, Caden, Alex, here he comes. Like, watch this. And you came flying down to that water, and Briggs and the pony go straight up in the air, and then they're gone because they're smaller than the brush. And I'm like, oh, I think he landed. And then shoot, out like a shot. And I'm like, he's like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. It was so
That's
cool.
the one combination I didn't get to see. Like, it wasn't on live.
I think I have video of
the
it.
video of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of the pictures we have from the front. Somebody took it in front. It is a large drop in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so take us on past the water. You had the 2 mound things.
Yeah, I had the 2 pimples.
And then actually the sunken road.
The sunken road.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
You had a little split-second moment there.
Oh, I did. Came in and did a good shot in, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was over the top, and I was like, I'm doing
This is
pretty.
at the big brush table.
Yeah.
Big brush table, and I noticed it
Brush like that.
was really wide. I mean,
Yes.
was it even 4-star wide, or was it wider?
I mean,
It was
whatever,
maxed out.
Yeah, whatever it was, it was.
And I was over the top, and I was like, I'm good. And then next thing I know, I didn't slip my reins enough. I get pulled a little forward, and I go,
Yeah.
I could give the mare a hug, and I'm like, oh, I got to sit up.
Or yeah, no kidding.
And she was like, whatever, and motored on down to the bounce bank and did it.
You were not alone with that happening there. I saw at least 3 riders have the exact same thing happen.
I kind of think my thing is I saw her drift a little bit right, and she's so short. His leg, they're not clearing the brush.
Right.
They're going through the brush, so your leg gets pushed back.
Right.
So when you're going down, if your reins are, you're not even able to sit back. I didn't realize how hard he hit on her neck until we saw it from another angle.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
She didn't move.
She didn't move. She just kept going right where she was going.
She's a pony. She's a determined woman.
Oh, she loves it.
Yeah. And then I didn't get to see you through the rest of the course from there because then I was running up to the booth.
Yeah, the offset houses were rode perfect. Did the 2 strides there.
Yep.
And then she was barreling down the rest of the hill.
And you did the dachshund, right?
Yeah, dachshund. I'm sure people were hearing me go, whoa.
Right.
So get into the dachshund.
I go to the dachshund, and she jumped it. It would just shimmied a little bit right, and I was like, that corner is really steep. So I went to go pull out to give myself more time, and I was like, oh, no, whatever. Turned to it, and she saw it, and she reached over.
She did it in 6.
She did it in 6.
And that's the thing, right? Because she's such a good little horse. She looks for the flags, doesn't she?
Yeah. She looks 100%.
Yeah. So what was she like then when you got to the finish? Like, how'd she feel when you're in the box? Was it hard on her?
No, she did pretty good. Got to the finish. She was still full of run, and
I'm going to interrupt. The vet, Jill Copenhagen, was our vet.
Yep.
And she kind of goes 103.
Right.
102.9, 103. She's really good.
Right.
And she recovered super fast.
Awesome.
The only thing that did happen when he came in was she had sprung a shoe.
Right.
And it didn't pull. It was the left front.
Left front.
When she came into the box, she took a weird step, and we were
the
like,
shoe.
and she had stepped on the clip.
And she just turned it.
But we were able to get it off right away.
Right.
So go ahead, Briggs. He's been doing a great conditioning program on the property next door to us, and it's been working out.
It's all that trail riding.
Yeah.
It's all that trail riding because hacking out for hours.
Yep.
Trotting, and then
And all your tack.
all my tack.
And so what kind of gallops were you doing on her?
I think I finished up with doing a 5, 6, 7 minute gallop.
So you did
With
a 5-minute canter, a 6-minute canter, a
Yeah.
7-minute canter, right?
And then with a 20-minute trot just as a warm up.
Yep.
And then I would fit in my hacks, like 20-minute trots here and there.
Right.
And just because I feel the trotting, it works a lot of the like you go from different stages. You can get a horse fit from the walk, takes a lot longer. But, But there's always legs on the ground. With the gallop, there's moments there's only one leg at the ground. So when you're trotting, they're always using every muscle. So you're not just getting them fit for wind, but you're also getting them fit with the muscle.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Like physically stronger.
Physically stronger.
Right.
And then I do the gallops, and that's a bit more of the wind. So you try to balance a little bit of both.
Well, it was super impressive. As I've said to you, so I don't want to like carry on about it because I've made the point, but like I thought she was a really cute little horse.
Yeah.
When you started with her, I'm like, that's a really cute little horse.
I think
It'll be a prelim horse, right?
Yeah.
And now it's there, and I'm like, and I've had several people come up to me and say, well, I mean, it's going to be here next year at the 5, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. It looks awesome. So who knows? But it looks the real deal. You've done an amazing job. So good for you.
It's one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah, I know. You can't go there. I can.
We can go into what the plans are and what he's done, reverting back to old school tack, bridles, everything.
Hats. Everything. Yes. Oh. So let's do that. Let's take a break, and then I want to come back. I want to find out, what you're doing, what your plans are, and why you use saddles from 1973. So we're going to be right back in the Jump for Joy studio, and thank you again to Equibrew, an amazing product. I got all my horses on it, Couture's on it. We'll be right back. Looking to improve your style? Need a gift for that special client? Exceptional Equestrian's journey started with Cindy Lay. After retiring, Cindy began crafting halter and bridle charms, selling them from the berm of the Colorado Horse Park. What began as a part-time endeavor blossomed into a thriving business. With just her trusty Nissan Murano, Cindy traversed the country, attending horse shows from coast to coast. As demand grew, so did the business. Trailers turned into trucks, and trucks multiplied. Today, Exceptional Equestrian boasts 2 prime locations at the World Equestrian Center in Ocala. Their curated collection features premier brands such as Sam Shield, Equiline, 4 Horses, Ego 7, the Kenyon Collection, Vestrum, and Animo. From equestrian essentials to stylish apparel and home goods, they offer a diverse range of products. They also carry tailored Sportsman, Tipperary, RJ Classics, and a wide variety of home goods and tack. The dedicated team takes pride in providing top-notch customer service, from expert safety equipment fittings to crafting the perfect ensemble or finding the ideal gift for your trainer. Step into Exceptional Equestrian and transform your style journey with us.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in our final episode, but
Actually, we're not.
Segment.
We're in the third segment.
No, we're not. We're somewhere in our segments. We don't know where we are.
We've got Lucinda coming up after this.
I know. We're just all tired here. Tell us about Hottie. Where did you get her? I know where you got it. John knows where you got her, but everybody out there might not know. And it's kind of a family affair. So why don't you go through that with us?
I got her from Elisa Wallace.
Who's she?
She's Rick's daughter.
Okay.
She bred her out of her advanced mare, Leap of Faith, who Rick started.
Right.
Took her to the two-star, was one-star. And then there's a thoroughbred.
Elisa, did Elisa ride her at Kentucky?
No, she rode that mare at Maui Gym.
Okay.
And Morven.
But never at Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I think she was leading Morven when she had a injury.
Got it. Okay.
Very, very feisty, opinionated mare.
Holsteiner thoroughbred, yep.
Holsteiner thoroughbred, and then there was a thoroughbred, Core Magnifique, who came from the Nancy Gosh, who that's where Rick got his first advanced horse and his other nice thoroughbred. Corporate Juncture, his first advanced horse was Ultimate Trial. So there's relationships through the whole breeding. So Core Magnifique goes back to Cormac, who is the sire of Ballycore, who won the '76 Olympics with Tad Coffin.
Probably in the same saddle.
Close. And so he sired numerous other top level event horses, and so Elisa bred those two horses, and this was the third crop. So she was the third one, the smallest one. I remember going up for Elisa's wedding and seeing little baby Hottie.
Right.
I'm
And
going to interject. The interesting thing is she was featured with that mare and that foal on USEA's eventing breeding section. So
breeding issue.
There's a magazine breeding issue with Hottie on it.
So not only has Elisa ridden at Kentucky, she's bred a Kentucky horse.
She has.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's all intertwined. It's so weird because my first horse is like Hottie's great uncle, and so it's just all in intermingled, and it's such a cool story. So when she was 2.5, she called me up and she said, "Dad, she's not going to grow. Briggs is short.
Right.
Why don't we just let her have her?"
Can we just say like vertically challenged?
He's 5'5".
Right.
So we're like, sure. So he's 2.5. He had fun with her. We thought, but I can tell you the first thing that I knew when she was like a 4 or 5 year old, he was just playing around. We just popped up a big jump. It was like 4.9.
Right.
She galloped right down to it and jumped it. And I was like,
this thing's special.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take it on.
Yeah, so I got her. She was difficult to start.
Right. Most of the good ones are.
Got on, and she was good to get on, and then I asked her to walk, and then next thing I know, she's taken off, and I'm on the ground. I mean, it's still the same today. I went for a trot set and did first 20-minute trot, and I got back to the start, and I was like, okay, girl, next trot, and she goes. I start my watch, and she's like, "We're galloping now." I was like, "No, we're trotting."
Right. I bet she was very disappointed.
She was. She was like, "Well, what are we doing here?"
Right. Right.
Yeah, she's incredibly funny and opinionated, and I love every bit of it.
So the journey here has been challenging. Obviously, she's a pony, as we all know. And a lot of people, and I've got to say, they've never said it to our faces, but always when we get people pull us up and say, "Hey, I just want you to know I was always rooting for you when people didn't think you were going to make it around." That I can say that for each star that we've been at, right?
Yeah.
All the way up to Sharon White, who I love Sharon White. We were driving by and she came running out of her trailer, and it was on Monday or Sunday night.
Sunday night.
She said, "Briggs," and she grabbed Briggs and she pulled him over and she said, "I always knew you could do this. You look phenomenal, and I've always been on your side." And I said, "That's really sweet."
That is sweet. I think, the thing is, just thinking of myself and the way I felt about it, which I think you guys know.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't believe it. It's just you look at the statistics of what jumps around a 4-star and a 5-star.
Right.
I mean, we had Teddy O'Connor.
Yeah.
Right? So it's unusual.
Yeah,
which
it's rare.
It's very unusual.
So it's hard to think when you see Briggs 5-6 years ago having fun on this sporty little pony that, for sure it's going to be at Kentucky. I think it's only natural to be like, we'll see.
I agree.
So kudos to you, man. I mean, it's amazing. So not only do you have a unique horse, but you have your own style with a lot of stuff. So I tease you about riding in saddles from 1970, but what saddle do you actually jump her in?
Can I tee this up real quick? Can I tee it up?
Yes.
So he is analytical and goes through everything from ground up.
Did you not hear what I said on the live stream
I did hear that.
Yeah.
So he decided to strip everything off and start from scratch.
Yep.
And he has a great friend and commandant, and that's Dougie Hannum.
Mm-hmm.
And so go.
So let's say it all started, Bromont, was that
1972.
20, I think it was 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I called him up after show jumping. I fell off in the show jump.
Right.
I called him up and I was like, something's not right. It's like, I think it's the saddle. And I'm going to go home and put one of our old saddles on. He goes, "I'm going to bring my saddle." I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Right.
That's where it started.
That's where it started. He brought his saddle that he got in 1973.
Right, and what kind is it?
It was a mock Hermes bevel at the time. It was handmade.
Right.
Wool flocked. Very compared to modern day, not just the flaps being flat. The paneling is different. The gullet's different. It's very narrow.
Yep.
It just on the outside of the spine, so the spine is supporting your weight, not your rib cage and the long distance muscle. And I felt a difference right away. The horse was able to lift his back, especially since he's really small.
Sure.
And I was able to ride much better to the fences, and especially when you're hitting the 6-minute mark or 7-minute mark on a course where she would go hollow, and that's where I had my control problems in the beginning. And I was like, it went away.
So is it sort of like how Bobby Meyerhoff was using the racing saddles? Is it sort of like a bridge to that?
Yeah, it's similar.
Like a halfway between?
Yeah, halfway between. You still got enough flaps, but the thing is, so I used that for the show jumping, and it fit the thoroughbred even better. And so I started figuring out, I got saddles that fit her better, than that switched to the thoroughbred.
Tell us what saddles you got.
So now for cross country, I got what's Crosby Bruce Davidson. It was designed by Bruce Davidson. He rode Badminton around. I think he used that saddle to win Badminton in 1995.
So we have officially declared you will be winning Kentucky 2025.
Exactly.
In Bruce's saddle.
In Bruce's saddle.
Yes.
So it's wool flocked. Same thing I just said. There's nothing there. The way the sweat flap is stitched into the paneling adds a little bit of extra knee roll without adding a lot.
Yeah, I've seen his saddle back in the day.
And he's done the same for dressage. He's gotten the old Passier.
Passiers.
I rode Kentucky the first time in an old Passier. It was
I love the Passier.
Yeah.
Great saddles. That's what I started in.
Which one?
This is the Linux.
Okay, I had the Grand Gilbert.
That's one of my favorites.
Those are great.
Yeah, it was a nice saddle.
I was trying to find the right one. I was like,
It was not super comfortable in the seat, but it was a nice saddle.
So not only does he mess with the saddles, but also he's got now all fitted saddle pads, and he has figured out that the pommel
pads.
Do
you remember pommel pads?
Yeah, I remember pommel pads.
He's gotten his aunt to make him all these pommel pads.
Yeah.
Right. So do you just look for old stuff?
No, well, the thing was, this all starts, here we go. I'm on the phone with Doug. He's like, saddles are fitting, but they just seem to settle a little bit low. He goes, you need a pommel pad. I was like, okay.
Right.
I Googled it, found one. I was like, it seems to work. And I called up my aunt because she likes things to do. And I was like, can you make me one of these? She's like,
knit me a pommel pad.
This is a great story interjection. So I'm like, great, you're using pommel pads.
Oh, yeah.
So then he said, hey, will you saddle up the horse for me? And the pommel pad's right there. So I used them a lot when I was in the hunters and stuff like that. So I just, without thinking, put the pommel pad on the way I knew it went on and put it on. And he came over and he went,
it's like, what the hell?
Why did you do it like that? I was like, I think that's the way it goes.
Right.
He was laying them a lot this way instead of around this way.
Yeah.
Instead of folding them up. And I was like, I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, well, thanks, Rick, for just not telling me that I've been using it wrong and just showing me one day.
It just makes me laugh because I have this picture of you in the mornings with a tin cup and a pair of long johns with the flap at the back.
Yep. Except he's out in the corn.
Yeah, out gardening.
He's out in the garden.
I love it. You are your own man, which is awesome. I love to give you a hard time, but you are your own dude, and that's a credit to you.
And then the next thing was, I was like, well, I guess I need an overgirth.
Yes. Yes. So did you ride him one in Kentucky?
I sure did.
Yeah, good for you. I actually did that a few years ago. I brought them back because I was like, there's no reason we shouldn't be in overgirths. We used to do them all the time. And we're almost in smaller girths now than we used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And I busted out my overgirths and they all ripped because they were so dry rotted from not being used.
One of his
I gave up
did the
on that
same.
pretty quick.
Or new ones. But here's the deal. The mare was going to go to Tryon.
Yep.
And we decided after Kentucky, Briggs and I had a conversation. I think we were on the same wavelength. We felt like she was 7:30 on the course.
Right.
Right. She had 18 time penalties. Long enough for her not to go another 10 days and then go try to do a long.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we decided we're scratching. Don't care. We just get our stall money back, not the other money, which is fine. Horses came first, and we also scratched the black horse. Going to Rebecca Farm. Sarah Broussard's very happy and excited. And that's the goal right now, is to get her there.
Well, that's awesome. It'll be fun. Rebecca Farm's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming on. You were super personable. You did this job not as well as usual with the clicker and the timer.
And we got all flustered.
Yeah, we got flustered. I got bothered by it. So we'll see if we ever let you come on again, because we're going to have to get you a double to do that part. I'll get Caden to come out and do the...
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll do next time, because I feel like we're going to need to have you back on again after Rebecca. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So, thank you, Jump for Joy. We are in the Jump for Joy studio here, and obviously thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. We're going to be right back for the badminton preview portion.
We are, and before we go, Equibrew, 10% discount, JR59.
Yes.
Season 5, Episode 9. Get some Equibrew. Order it on brickfieldnutrition.com.
Good job. We'll be right back. Looking to improve your style? Need a gift for that special client? Exceptional Equestrian's journey started with Cindy Lay. After retiring, Cindy began crafting halter and bridle charms, selling them from the berm of the Colorado Horse Park. What began as a part-time endeavor blossomed into a thriving business. With just her trusty Nissan Murano, Cindy traversed the country, attending horse shows from coast to coast. As demand grew, so did the business. Trailers turned into trucks, and trucks multiplied. Today, Exceptional Equestrian boasts 2 prime locations at the World Equestrian Center in Ocala. Their curated collection features premier brands such as Sam Shield, Equiline, 4 Horses, Ego 7, the Kenyon Collection, Vestrum, and Animo. From equestrian essentials to stylish apparel and home goods, they offer a diverse range of products. They also carry tailored Sportsman, Tipperary, RJ Classics, and a wide variety of home goods and tack. The dedicated team takes pride in providing top-notch customer service, from expert safety equipment fittings to crafting the perfect ensemble or finding the ideal gift for your trainer.
Step into exceptional equestrian and transform your style journey with us.
Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them.
Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Hey, it's John here. I just wanted to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are here in our exceptional equestrian segment. We're super excited to have the one and only Lucinda Green. Lucinda, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure. Great to be here again.
And we are going to do our badminton preview. You're going to sort of talk us through your thoughts on badminton, maybe go over some of the entrants. So as I look at this, we have 87 entries. Is that what you have on your list?
I think most of them have withdrawn. I think we're down to 80.
Well, that's not most of them. That's 7.
No, when I say most of them, they don't usually take more than 80.
Okay.
So I was quite surprised to see the ones with the line through them. I just have a look at it, but I think we've got. Yeah, there's actually not even 80. I don't think. 82 is numbered, but there's several withdrawals from within that, including Boyd on cue, Oliver Cooley-Rosen. The horses that were at Kentucky are all in that 82. So it's probably going to be a few less than that. But that's great because I think last year we didn't quite manage more than 60. Usually there's a wait list with COVID and one thing and another. Last year was down, but this year we seem to be back up, which is really great.
That is good. You were saying that it's raining again over there right now.
It is, that isn't great news for the ground at Badminton because it feels every year that it's as wet as this, like the world's wettest year in England. It's probably been this wet for some years now. But usually by May, we're starting to see some cracks in the ground on the clay ground, and Badminton is partly clay. But it was meant to be going to be a dry week, and therefore they felt the ground would be perfect, and it still may be. But we had a lot of rain on yesterday, and it's sort of heaps more today. Not really, really bad, but it's just not drying. It's definitely raining. So it could easily end up being a bit softer. And yeah, last year was very soft. I hope it's not as soft as that because it was only a certain type of horse could cope with that softer ground.
Yeah, and that's when they were talking about taking loops out and not taking loops out, and it was real controversial last year, wasn't it?
Trying to remember what they did. I think they took a couple of fences out.
Yeah.
There was a sort of spread fence after one sunken road thing they took out, and maybe another one too. I don't think they took any distance out. Whereas in the European Championships in France, where it was bottomless is a bit of an overused phrase. but it was pretty damn soft at the end of August. And it was exactly the same when the World Championships were held there. They had an unusual summer, and they had another unusual summer. And this is all clay at Harry Dupin. So it's either rock hard with lines across the earth, you know that one, I'm sure, or it's what it was like at the end of August last year. And it was really soft, and the horses weren't getting any purchase off it. And I think very wisely they did take a loop out there. And they still, I think Ros Cantor was the only one inside the time. I think Vendredi Bats and Kitty King came very close. So it didn't take the emphasis off the cross country, put it that way.
Right. So if it stays wet like this, obviously cross country, I mean, let's be honest, regardless, cross country at Badminton is going to be hugely influential. So with that said, how do you think, who are sort of your big key people? I don't know if we need to go through every single person on the list here.
No,
What do you think?
we won't.
I think
We've sort of got
the keys.
We've got the old Price team, Vitali, who was winning Burley until he couldn't quite make it around the show jumps, which is tragically, because he's a top class horse in dressage and cross country, was the problem in Tokyo. That took him away a high place, and Burley, it took him away his leading. So I don't know how you improve that. There isn't a much better rider in the world than Tim Price. So he and Janelle on her Poe winner are both forming up. Laura Collett's got two less, not London 52. He's presumably waiting in the wings for Paris. Her two other horses, Bling and Hester, I don't know much about them, but they're quite not blood horses. They're quite sturdy people. One of them's a mare. We've got David Dole, who I think impressed us and you a lot at Kentucky, getting the fastest time.
Yeah, I was super impressed with him. I'm excited to watch his round for sure.
And he got the fastest time at Burley too, and he's on 17.2, something like 46% thoroughbred. I think he's Dutch warm blood, and he's a big bone, a raw boned horse. He's big, but he has this amazing sort of eat everything up rhythm. He doesn't seem to change the rhythm, and David rides him, has ridden him most of his competitive life extremely well. So that will be fun to watch. I'm really excited for William, who keeps promising us that he's about to retire, rather like Ian Stark. But unfortunately, Ian Stark is absolutely determined to retire from course design at the end of this year, which I think is a tragedy, because I think he is sensational and leads the world in course design with a balance of tremendous courage, but such a knowledge of horses and how they can think and how they perform, that he gets a really good result. And it's a crying shame he never got one of our 5 stars, but it just was wrong place at wrong time, or whatever it was. But Grafenacht and William Fox Pitt, who as you obviously know, nearly as good as did win Maryland, but was stopped on course and didn't win by nothing of a second. So you never feel particularly happy about that. But I think everybody, including William, was very happy that Austin O'Connor had his first ever 5-star win. But William, I think, is 49 3-day event wins to his name. But nonetheless, it was awfully close. And she's a great mare, but she's a wonderful mare. I love her. And it's lovely to see William, who's done so much on geldings, to come out and ride this mare in the way mares, I'm sure not all mares are the same, for sure they're not, but the way mares like to be ridden. And he's really good with her. She's not extravagant. She's not impressive. She just does it. And he absolutely goes with it. And it's just a lovely combination. And he's a really
and I think they're going to be great, because he was on our podcast not too long ago. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very, very good rider. And I know everybody has to give up some point and all that, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he hangs on a bit longer.
Yeah, right. Hey, Lucinda, you're talking about rain now. How's the lead up been for everybody? Do you think the lead up's been pretty good for badminton this year, unlike last year?
If they've got out, because there's been a lot of cancellations, but organisers have been unbelievably good about trying to retain and hold the advanced classes, even if they've had to scrap the classes that bring in their income, which is all not good news in these hard days of economy. But I don't know. There'll be some that haven't got what they wanted, for absolute sure, because there has been quite a lot of cancellations. Nothing like Ireland. Ireland, I think, they only run about, well, last weekend or weekend before they ran some events, but I don't think they'd run anything much before then. And certainly one of my mates had come all the way over to the one in, desperately trying to remember its name, beginning with K, in Holland. He'd come via an event in England and then just kept going across England and into Holland for, can't remember it, sorry.
Yeah, so like would Joseph Murphy and Sam Watson and like Georgie Goss and all those guys, they would have to come over to England to get the runs in, you think, because Ireland's been so wet?
Very good question. That actually not sure whether Sam's been over or not, but both those horses have done quite a lot, but you still do want to have one run, if not two. The year of foot and mouth, that horrible disease that cattle get, and we get that 201, we had that in England, and a posse of British went over to Kentucky without a run at all. And all they did was a cross-country practice, because they were allowed to do that, because there was no livestock movement allowed. And they did fine. I think the older horses very often don't need what we think they do, but we do.
Right. Yeah, to keep the riders sharp, for sure.
Yes, exactly. So I think it is jolly difficult, but I don't think it's dramatic. I think people have got a certain amount of what they want, just wasn't what they had in mind at the end of last year. I'm just
we do have
the list.
We do have our US. No. We do have our USA contingency there. I think we've got a group of good people. John, what do you think? Palm Crescent is all thoroughbred. Lucinda, really nice horse. He's 18. Megan O'Donoghue. What do you think about the US contingency? Anything that sticks out?
That horse that's 18, or is he 19? Is that Copper Beach? Is that Buck Davison's horse?
That's another one. That's with Crosby.
That went incredible. If it is the same Copper Beach, certainly the right color.
Yeah, it is.
It is the same. It is the same Copper Beach.
Well, it went so beautifully for her, Burnham. I really enjoyed watching him there. He didn't look his age at all. And I know she's looking for another horse to replace him, because he is getting to the end. But it would be really fun to see him do well, because I remember Go for Gold Sale. I think I'd been asked to line up and try and encourage people to come, and they'd given me some money to do a talk or something at the first Go for Gold Sale, the dinner. And that's where he was bought, I think, by Buck and 4 5-year-olds. So it's rather fun to have
seen him the whole way through. Totally. Well, Lucinda, I know you're a little pressed for time. We're going to take a quick break and just check in with some of our sponsors. We're going to thank Exceptional Equestrian for sponsoring this segment. Really, really appreciate it. So we're going to be right back at the Jump for Joy studio. Yes, Rick?
Before we go, I just want to make a note. Cindy Lay met Lucinda at Kentucky, and they were able to talk about the Kenyan collection. And Lucinda even had a belt on and showed Cindy. So it was really cool to pull it all together.
Perfect. Cindy, thank you. And Lucinda, hang tight. We're going to be right back.
Okay.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore's supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox. Nature's Own Binding Agent, cleansing your horse's system, now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse, no fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star Venture the Thrive, because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immunobooster, unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion, customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com or call, text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today.
Welcome to The Hunt. The pursuit of greatness awaits, and we're on a mission to conquer our goals. Every step we take, every lift we make, we are driven by an insatiable hunger for excellence. There are no limits, no boundaries that can hold us back. We may have different objectives, but we share a common purpose: to push beyond our limits and achieve the extraordinary. Like a pack of fierce and unstoppable warriors, we stand united, a community of relentless individuals who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Obstacles, they're just stepping stones on our path to success. We welcome them, learn from them, and rise above them. We celebrate each other's victories and lift each other higher, inspiring greatness in one another. At CrossFit eFit, we don't just hunt for success, we embody it, breathe it, and conquer it. Prepare yourself, because this isn't for the faint-hearted. This is for those who crave the thrill of pushing beyond the ordinary. CrossFit eFit, on the hunt.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are back with Lucinda Green, and she's going to continue to give us her insight on badminton that's running this week. Lucinda, take it.
Yeah, so just a few more that you can be absolutely dead certain that whoever I don't mention will win it. As people always ask me to say, oh, well, who's going to win badminton? I've always said, you can't possibly tell. And then I took a stab at it 3 years ago because I was so sure he'd do really well. And that was Tom McEwen on the lovely French horse. And he fell really badly trying to oxer a bounce, trying to jump it as a parallel. Coming up a hill, he never sighted the fact that the other one was too far away. He just misread it in that split second, and halfway through the air he went, oh, I meant to come down, and he came down. It was too late. So never again am I going to say anything about who might win. But we've got the lead out is Tom Jackson, who's for Britain really jumped into the foreground the last few years, was second at Burley, and he's got his good horse later. He's got a young horse that was 6 in the Le Moulin 5-star, and then had a frangible fence down cross country at Pau and 3 fences down. But he kicks us off, followed by Caroline Powell on a horse that I don't know, but she's a very, very good cross country jockey. And then Laura comes along on Bling, who she's found a bit for finally, which I think is a big ring gag. And then we have Harry on probably the best of his horses, but it's arguable. Cavalier Crystal, who's a Cavalier Royale horse. I don't know whether that's grandfather or father. Irish, who's very well-known sire of a lot of event horses, sort of Mary King, Imperial Cavalier. Her other Cavalier horses sort of brought him to the fore. It has a difficult temperament, but this Cavalier Crystal is a mare, and Harriet adores her, so he's 4th out.
And Lucinda, just real quick, do you think, like a lot of times over here anyway, we think, you want to be going on the second day because you're going to get the better marks in the dressage, but if the ground stays the way it's looking, is it going to be better off to be early?
Much.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially in the dressage, because it must be the only 5-star in the world where you plod up and down on everybody else's grass tracks, and it gets deeper and deeper as the dressage goes on, and you have to start avoiding the tracks, which means you can't be dead accurate. So I think it's a very good point. And whilst I'd rather have somebody out there on that course showing me what not to do or what to do, I think being last, which is where Oliver Townend is, who's, as you know, gunning for the Rolex Grand Slam, having won Kentucky and before that Burley, he's pretty late on. So who knows? It can have good, it can have bad. Boyd on tester leg is 7th to go, and followed by Pippa Funnel on her wonderful horse Major's Hope. And so it goes on with a pretty hot lot. Felix Vogue, I think you've had over there in Kentucky with Cartagena, and she's up. Bobby Upton's come through a really horrible injury that she was very lucky that the surgeon managed to get her back up and running again, because she got totally squashed. A horse reared over backwards on her at home. And she's got that wonderful horse Cola that went so well 2 or 3 years ago, then stopped, refused at the very last fence.
I remember that. That was so heartbreaking.
It's something that has to probably happen to all of us once, to remember to just make sure it doesn't happen again. But that was a superb round there, and he's 2 years fitter now, maybe more than 2. So there's quite a lot of good ones coming in and out. Not so many of the old names, because people like Tina Cook have retired now. They do they saw, like Andrew Nicholson, they're still bringing horses on, but rather not riding themselves above 3-star.
And keep an eye, Lucinda. Rick mentioned her earlier, and we kind of skipped through her. Just keep an eye on Megan O'Donoghue, because that is a full thoroughbred horse. It is a beautiful mover, and that could be a little bit of a shock for everybody over there to see her where she could finish up.
I'm excited to hear that full thoroughbred, because that should survive the deep growing. I'm actually looking for her everywhere here, and I've obviously passed her because
number 24 on Palm Crescent.
Oh yes, I've well passed her. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and she's it's a little bit of an older horse, it's experienced, but she really has quite a good record on it. And I don't know badminton like you know badminton, but it seems like it would be the right type of horse to be there.
And Tiana's got a good horse, hasn't she? Tiana Kudre from the United States, Can Karas girl.
Yep.
I believe she's a good horse cross country. So yes, you've got a couple of and it's so nice that people come from as far away as America to compete at badminton, because there's a little bit of a ripple, as you know, because we've discussed it, going through Europe, that they think 4-star should be the highest and that 5-star should go. And my feeling is that give me another 25 years, of which I might be well dead, but if that happens, then 4-star will go, and very soon the highest level will be 3-star, and so it will go on down. I think it's terribly important to retain the highest level, to something to aspire to. There's a certain amount of thought that they only want 40 competitors at badminton and make a really big thing of it, and not have 80, and therefore have some also rounds that maybe don't look so good. Mind you, it's not always the also rounds that don't look so good. Some of the good ones don't look so good sometimes. But I think come what may, whether badminton decides to get a little bit more elite or not, I think we must fight for that 5-star, or we'll lose what I'm so passionate to keep.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Must be the hey, sport.
Could we get you to say something about Grace Taylor? She's representing the United States, but of course
that's another one, isn't it?
Yep. She was at Burley and did really well. I think she had to withdraw before showtime.
She did really well, and she couldn't come out the last day for nothing, thank goodness, terribly serious, because she's back again this year, this spring. But she's done so well, and her mum and dad, although from different continents now, both support her, and they haven't given it to her easy. She's had to jolly work for it, and she's a good girl, and who knows who this badminton will let bubble up to the surface. But even if it doesn't let you bubble up to the surface, you've had the most amazing experience, which will stand you in very good stead for the future. It is an extraordinary place, badminton. It's almost surreal. It's I don't get the feeling I get at badminton anywhere else in the world. It might have something to do with the fact that I've been incredibly lucky there, but there's just a sort of mysterious magic about that place. Actually, I have to admit, when it got the dreaded Dutch elm disease and an awful lot of the beautiful trees died and had to come down, it did change the aura a bit. Those old trees had seen hundreds of years of history, and when they came down, still badminton looked absolutely beautiful. The lake was still there, but there's still trees there. But it was changed by that rather sad happening to the trees. But it's amazing. And the vet's inspection in my day used to be in the stable yard with about 40 people watching it. Now it's in front of the house, magnificent grandstand erected, because people really love to come, and then they'll clap and they'll boo and do all the things that people do, and they're deadly silence if there's a rerun up of a favorite. It's just that the atmosphere starts from the moment you drive into that place, and these 1700 and something stables that your horses are all stable in, no modern tents or anything. It's all proper lovely big old stables with wonderful wood between each. It's just something very, very special. And anybody that's lucky enough to get there, they've earned their trip, because they spent many years on the treadmill trying to get themselves prepared and their horses prepared.
Well said.
Yeah, it's very exciting that we are here. We are badminton week for sure. And really, as people are watching this, we're in the midst of it. Are you commentating for this one?
I don't know that I am. I suggested that I'd like to, because I want to practice for my lucky spot that I've been given to do Paris. But for some reason, even though this is their 75th birthday and I'm probably nearly the same age as Badminton, I haven't had them really take up the idea of me commentating. They've got very good commentators. They've got John Carl, who's my other half in Tokyo, and will be again in Paris, all being well. And they've got Nicola Wilson, who had that awful fall at Badminton 3 years ago and is not able to ride anymore, but making incredible progress comeback, and has actually been put in charge of the international pony team. I'm not sure whether that's a blessing or not, because you've got to deal with the mums and the dads, but she's such a lovely, wonderful personality, gentle, placid, lovely husband she has. And I think she's done an incredible job at moving across from being a top level competitor. She just won herself the European Championship gold medalist, and then this accident happened the next Badminton on the very horse she won it on, and she's able to walk but not as good as she was, and she does a lot of teaching, and now she's commentating at Badminton along with Tina Cook. So it's a good lot, and they may have the odd guest shoot through, of which I may or may not be one.
Well, I hope to hear you there, because I always love hearing you, and I'm looking forward to the super secret exclusive WhatsApp group.
Oh yes, exactly.
For sure. Yeah, that's always fun.
I must just tell people what that is. But I was in Tokyo and felt terribly guilty that I was there, because nobody else was. So I put about 20 of my mates on this WhatsApp group so that they could enjoy the happenings too. And it's now got to about 120, and it keeps jumping into action at every 5-star event, which wasn't my intention at all. It was just Tokyo. And then
I keep waiting for you to monetize this thing.
But it is fun, and very often I don't start it. Somebody suddenly says, "Are you at Tokyo? What's happening at Burley? What's happening at Adelaide?" I haven't been able to do Adelaide because I haven't been there, but it is fun. I must say the WhatsApp groups are great fun, and it goes off into so many interesting areas that there's always somebody who's an expert in those 120 people that can either put the record straight or clear the air. We had a couple of dressage judges leave once. That was really sad.
Yes, I remember that. They got a little heated, but it's entertaining.
Yes, at least they weren't dressage judges at the said prescribed event, but I think they for various reasons had just had enough of. I mean, let's face it, we do give the stewards. Recently at Kentucky, the stewards have come in for it because of this wretched bit that should be allowed and isn't allowed. The TDs come in for it, the dressage judges come in for it. It is tough because an awful lot of these people do all this work and stewarding and judging for diddly squat nothing. So we got to be a little careful how we treat them.
Yep, you're right. But you know what? I think the nice thing is we need to communicate. We need to talk. At the end of the day, we all need to be respectful. But, people make mistakes. And when we do, you got to be held accountable and talk it out. So I think it's been great, which is what we try to do here on the show as well. Lucinda, we can't thank you enough for coming on. You're a champ. And obviously, Rick and I want to wish everybody, especially the North Americans, but really especially everybody, good luck, clean, fast rounds at Badminton on Saturday. We are cheering the whole world on there. We are so excited. Rick, any inspirational things to say to the Badminton competitors?
Yeah, I would say go out,
be safe and ride smart and think about your horse when you're going. I'm sure they're all going to do that. And Lucinda, thanks for being with us at Kentucky. You were a gem for all of us. So thank you so much.
We had such fun. I have a wonderful time with you all at Kentucky. Just sad, John, don't know how we managed it. We were both there.
We were like shipped. I had a week. A week, Lucinda. So we were ships passing
you had
night.
a busy time.
Yeah.
You had a very busy time.
Yeah.
Good for you. All right. Well, thank you both for having me on, and much enjoyed it as ever. And we'll hopefully be keeping in close touch.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks everybody for joining us on the John and Rick Show here from the Jump for Joy studio. Huge thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. We can't thank Matt and his team over there enough for constantly supporting this podcast. It's been over 5 years now, Rick. And I guess 5 years, not over 5 years. We're in our 5th season, which blows my mind away. Rick, we've got 17,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. We're blowing up, man. It is awesome.
Going.
We're so excited. So
we're going to be as popular as Lucinda one day.
That's a bit of a stretch, but for a couple of dudes doing a podcast, we're doing all right. And it's because of our great friends like Lucinda. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
Great. All right.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.